Let's find these pieces of leather first. This is its mouth. This is blush. This is an eye. Let's sew these pieces first. In this way, the round and clear hole is the front of the leather. This is the back. Let's sew the blush part first. Find the pink wax thread. Take a length of about 30 厘米. First put the thread through the end of the needle normally like this. Then use the tip of the needle to pass through the middle of the thread. Then just pull it tight. The other end of the thread should also be threaded with a needle. It works the same way. The first stitch, let's start here. Corresponds to this hole in this large skin. The second needle is inserted into an adjacent hole. The needle from the first hole goes into the second hole. Then go through the third hole. The needle from the second hole just went through the third hole. Exit through the fourth hole. And they sew them down like this. So here and you're done. Then go back and sew 2 more stitches. Avoid opening lines. Then leave the remaining wax thread on the back of the leather. Cut with scissors. Then burn the thread with a lighter. Sew the eyes and blush the same way. After sewing, it looks like this. Then we'll sew his mouth. Take the blue wax line about 30 厘米. The method of threading the needle is the same. In the two adjacent holes like this. And the same with sewing. Insert the needle from the first hole into the second hole. Then go through the third hole. Then just the needle for the second hole. Put it in the third hole. Through the fourth hole. So like this in turn. After all the surfaces are sewn, sew 2 stitches back. Avoid opening lines. Finally, leave the thread on the back of the leather and cut it. Then burn it with a lighter. Be careful not to burn the leather. Then we will sew the ears of Ugly dog. Pay attention to the direction of Ugly dog's ears here. That's how the ears tilt out. Find the white wax thread. The length of the wax line is more than 6 times the circumference of the circle. Then put the 2 sections of the wax thread on the needle respectively. The method of threading the needle is the same. Refer to the previous. Align the holes of the 2 pieces of leather when sewing. Jab in the 2 adjacent holes. The starting point is at this end of the bar first hole. Then the needle of the first hole is threaded into the second hole. The sewing method is the same as mentioned earlier. Go through the second hole and then go through the third hole. Then the needle for the second hole starts. Go through the third hole. The fourth puncture. So like this in turn. At this point, all the holes in the big skin are sewn. Then just sew this piece separately. The needle on the back of the big skin also goes back through the round hole. Then wear it out like this from the middle of the two pieces. Then go through the ear like this. Then sew the earpiece separately. Pay attention during the sewing process. Remember to tighten the wax thread at any time. And we're done with the holes in the ears. And then we do 2 stitches backwards. Fixed offline. Leave the rest of the thread inside the ear. After cutting, burn the thread with a lighter. So one ear is sewn. So the other ear in the same way. Then we found this to sew. Handle part. To sew here. Sew like this. Here we take more than 4 times the length of this wax line. Blue. Both ends of the thread are threaded with needles. Dig in like this. The stitching method is still the same. So here we are going to sew the line to the left of the bag. There's no holes in this big skin. Let's thread the needle on this side of the big leather like this. It goes through the middle of the 2 leather materials. Then go again. Go through the next hole like this. And there are 4 holes left to sew here. Thread all the needles on the back forward 1 needle. Wear it to the front. Align these 4 holes. Then sew. After all the holes are sewn, sew 2 stitches backwards. Finally leave the thread on the back of the leather. Then cut. Burn the thread. Then the inner circle is sewn like this. In addition, the leather on the back is also like this, so the tote bag. Let's take a look at the effect after it is all sewn. Then we sew the side torus. The blue wax line is about essentially me. Thread needles at both ends of the thread. Put the ring like this. Note that the direction of the metal ring is above. The sewing method is the same. after the JPG is sewn, sew the other side for later use. And when we were done, we found these 3 pieces. Put this rectangular leather. Sew it with these 2 large pieces. Sew together like this. The length of the wax line is more than 4 times that of this section. Thread needles at both ends of the thread. Use this rectangular leather. Press on top of this big skin. Sew like this. The method of stitching is still the same as before. After sewing all the holes, press back and sew 2 stitches backwards. Leave the thread on the back of the leather. Cut and burn the thread. And then this is done. Then this other piece is sewn in the same way. Also use the rectangular piece. Press on this big leather. Sew like this. Check the effect. Then take out these 2 lateral skins. We only sew on the horizontal line here this time. He sewed his own piece of leather separately. The length of the pull wire is more than 4 times that of this length. The sewing method is the same. Pull into adjacent holes at the corner. This is also the hole. After it's all sewn, go back and sew 2 more stitches. Leave the thread inside the leather. Cut and burn the thread. So one is sewn. The other side is sewn the same way. All sewn up and set aside. And then we find these two little strips. Put the back of this little strip up. So like this. The back is on the outside. Differentiate between front and back. Look at the hole position. The round hole position is the front. The default is that the hole on the back is not very clear. The length of the wax line is more than 4 times this distance. Be careful when sewing here. There are 3 holes in this strip. The first needle is inserted into the first hole of the skin, and the first hole in the lower side skin. The back looks like this. Then sew according to the method of stitching. It's the same when you sew round corners. Align the hole behind. Just sew one hole next to the other. When there are some holes left to sew here, this side skin has no holes. Just sew it here. Then go back and sew 2 stitches. Leave all the threads on the side of the lateral skin. Cut and burn the thread. So one is sewn. Then 3 holes are exposed on each side. The other one is also sewn for spare. Find these 2 pieces of leather. We're going to sew the middle row here first. The hole is also sewn by himself. The lower row is to link the zipper part. The top row. It is the last to be sewn together with the big leather. Let's sew the middle piece first. Pull the wire and take more than 4 times this distance. The first hole starts here. After sewing, overwhelm the 2 stitches. Then leave the remaining thread on the back of the leather. So it's sewn. The other piece is also only sewn in the middle row. Take a look at the final effect. Then we pull the zipper like this. Sew together with the bottom row of holes in this skein. Be careful not to pull the zipper too forward. That's it. The length of the pull wire is based on this distance 4 times more. When we sew this zipper, the zipper is placed in the middle of the leather. The 2 ends are the same length. There are still a few holes here, don't worry about it. This part of the zipper. It's to be sewn together like this. When sewing, the front of the leather is pressed against the zipper cloth. You can start with these holes first. These holes are sewn separately. Then when it's time to sew this hole, add this zipper cloth. Zipper cloth because there are no holes, so don't worry when sewing. Just sew it little by little. You can't see the hole on the back. When sewing, try to sew back where this wax thread comes out. After all are sewn, sew 2 stitches backwards. Then leave the thread on the back of the leather. After cutting, burn the thread. Be careful not to burn the zipper cloth. And there you go. In addition, this piece is also sewn like this. The effect after the pocket is sewn. Then find this big skin that was protected at the beginning and this zipper leather. Put the back of the big leather and the back of the zipper leather. The 2 pieces overlap. So like this. The length of these two pieces of leather is different. It doesn't matter. The number of holes is the same. That's how the die is designed. The length of the wax line is more than 4 times this distance. Same threading method. Fast forward here and let it go. Check the hole position before sewing. Avoid the first shot at first. This first hole. Start with the second hole. There's another hole to be vacated to sew side skin. To use. The two pins are inserted into the second and third holes respectively. Although the length of the two leather materials here is different, but the number of holes is the same. The sewing method is the same. Sew one hole next to the other. Front film short, back film long. It's for the front film and the back film. Achieve a concave feeling. And here, we also need to sew to the penultimate hole. The last hole is to be sewn with zippo. After sewing the penultimate hole, we continue to sew 2 stitches backwards. That's all part of it. Then we continue to sew this side. Put this row. Aim here to sew. Or stay. These 2 holes on both sides. Start with the second hole. Sew until the penultimate hole. After it's all sewn, it looks like this. Then we find this side skin that we just sewed. We are now sewing 3 holes and 4 holes horizontally. Take about 30 厘米 of wax thread. The 3 holes that were upright at the beginning. It is to be sewn separately. The first needle is stuck here for 4th hole. It's here, take a look. Take a look at the second needle prick here. Then when you get to the top hole, stop here. Put it in. On this big leather, notice here that the metal buckle is on the outside. These 4 holes are horizontal. These holes are sewn together. Let's put the back needle through to the front first. And count the 4 holes in the row. Tie it up from the bottom of the scissors hole. After all the stitches are done, sew 2 stitches backwards. Avoid offline. Finally, leave the thread on the front or back of the leather. Either way. Cut and burn the thread. This location is the same. Sew it yourself. This is what it looks like after sewing here. And then we started sewing on the bottom. Align the holes like this to sew. Pull the wire and take more than 4 times this distance. We start the first needle. The second hole of the outer zipper leather. The second needle is stuck in this hole of the sun-sided skin. You can check the location carefully. After the needle starting position is set, it is sewn. The method is the same. This side is sewn. The other side, sew it up the same way. It's also now. Reward yourself with a big chicken leg. And finally, the silk scarves.